Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're still tuning in, great. If not, it's perfectly fine. Like I said, mentioned in my early videos, I do this mostly for myself to keep track of things I do and keep track of my thoughts. And also just put that out there in the event that somebody does tune in and somebody does listen and has some feelings that they share or thoughts that they share or things they want to engage in. So yeah, I will continue to do these things weekly. Obviously, I'm a little behind now. I've been, as some of us fathers and mothers know, that life can get busy, especially with a 3-week-old. But it's been great. The third week, we're getting settling down more into the roles. I just went back to work this week, kind of like in a full-time capacity. So it's been interesting for sure. It's been an adjustment for both of us. But yeah, we're making it work. That's kind of the thing, right? Um, so week three, Porter's week 3 weeks now. It'll be 4 weeks next week, obviously. The time has been flying by. It's been quite the vortex of time. We lose track of our days, and I lose track of my days sometimes, just based off my work schedule, attending to Porter, and just keeping relationship with my wife, of course. So, yeah, week three's been good. He's back on track for weight wise. We just went to our last lactation consultant. We officially graduated lactation school, if you so to speak. That's a great that's a great resource if parents are out there, future parents, or just even parents in general that had struggled with breastfeeding in the past or lactation in the past. It was a great experience through Unity Point, and they provided a great resource for us in Michelle, and she helped us a lot along the way. We learned quite a bit from her on just how to manage things and how to better provide our child the nutrients that he needs, and how we can also take care of our the mom as well, and make sure she's doing well as well. So it's been great. So officially graduated, no certificate or nothing, but Porter is above his birth weight now, so which is great. So we're on track. So it's a little more relieving for us from me and Sam especially, that we see. I guess we are doing things right, yeah. and providing him nutrients and stuff like that. So yeah, he's back on track. He's back up to fight weight. We hope to keep that going. We're going to continue to do what we do, but it is quite the relief off our shoulders to see that he is healthy, and we are providing him his sustenance that he needs to grow. So we want a big boy. So we'll see. But yeah, so week three. Basically, I wanted to touch, and I wanted to just pay due diligence and pay gratitude to. This week has been, like I said, I went back to work this week, and it's been interesting for me to see, kind of engage in my other coworkers and see their responses, and how they and how they can relate and stuff like that. So they've been very awesome and very welcome and offering advice, and also they understand a lot. So it's nice to talk to my coworkers about some relation, because most of my coworkers are older than me. They have multiple children, and yeah, so it's been nice to get their kind of take on things and how some of their experiences. So, and some of the things that we can share together, and oh yeah, I dealt with that too. I know how that goes and stuff like that. So it's always good and relieving to hear some of that stuff, especially from a new parent like myself. So it's been awesome going back to work. And getting engaged with them. And then I do find myself also, I enjoy the work that I do, but I do find myself oftentimes thinking of Porter, which is good. I think that's obviously very weird and new to me, to be able to just man, I can't wait to get home. And not saying that I can't wait to get home, not see my wife. Of course, I want to get home, see my wife every day. But with this newborn child, man, I feel like I'm missing some things, and he's growing so fast. And they do. So I don't want to miss anything. So I always make mid-afternoon calls now to Sam and see how Porter's doing. So yeah, that's very new to me, honestly. So yes, and then obviously at home life, Sam has been adjusting and having to make a lot of big adjustments as well. Like I said prior to, I was kind of taking more of the night shifts, so she's been very, very helpful in taking the night shifts and letting me sleep so I can go to work, at least get a decent amount of sleep before I go to work. I still try to help her out when I can, of course. Like I said, I don't need much sleep, but she has been rock solid, just fantastic mom. And I know she's stressed out about it sometimes, but I think she's starting to get a little better and realizing that I can adjust to these things. Not everything has to be set in stone or whatever. I can make adjustments and do these small little things. So she's learning too. It's like I said, we're just learning so much. It's been such a great experience for us. But yeah, so week 3, I want to go back and pay gratitude to, I think Sam said this earlier on when when we first started doing this. And for those of you who don't know, my mother-in-law lives with us. She's been such a fantastic help with around the house. And I think Sam said something one morning. I think it was like kind of 65, but she said, it does take a village, and I truly believe that. And and I want to pay gratitude to just the people that my parents have come and helped me. Sam's mom has came and helped me. All the aunts and uncles, but we're starting to introduce Porter to his aunts and uncles. So I call them aunts and uncles, but some of my close friends and family that I consider close. And they've been nothing but fantastic. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see how they grow. I can't wait. Let me rephrase that. I can wait, but it'll be interesting to see how he kind of like builds those relationship with my friends, my close friends, and Sam's close friends, and being around them and learning things from them too, because it's going to be a huge learning environment around the way, right? And it's my job, it's Sam's job to ensure that we are giving him the guidance that he needs in the way he needs to, way we kind of expect his expectations to build himself. But I know he's going to have a lot of outer influences to include aunts, uncles, my friends, Sam's friends, mom, dad, stuff like that. So that'll be challenging. That'll be a challenge that I look forward to kind of taking on. Because of course, at the end of the day, my belief is that it's my child. I want him to be his own man, and I want him to explore that his own way. But I also want to provide him guidance on things that I like, what I consider are things that are necessary to be that man, or to be the man that I think and that I want him to be. And he's not going to be always acknowledgeable about that, and I understand that because I wasn't myself, And I fought my dad every step of the way, every lesson he tried to teach me. So I was stubborn. I don't know how he's going to be about it, but I at the same time I need to provide guidance for him. And it's going to be challenging to see all these influences and how they collide. Well, it's like mom said this because me and my wife have differences of views as well, and different names. My mother-in-law, for instance, she lives with us, so she's obviously going to have influence on Porter, and she, might be a little more easy on him, so to speak, than I am, and might let him get away with certain things. That's it's gonna be a weird dynamic. I'm speaking theoreticals, of course, but that's gonna be a weird dynamic to see come up. And like when we say it takes a village in this course, I'm grateful to that. I'm grateful that I have this much support from both sides of our family and our friends. But like with that comes influence. I have to make sure that I'm teaching him things that he can, giving him the tools and resources and things that I know that I want to instill in him, but also I know he's going to have other outside influences as well. And I want him to make the most informed decision and then find and explore ways for himself and discover himself, of course. But I mean, there's certain values that, I ascertain as, that makes you a man, so to speak. But yeah, so it'll be interesting for sure to see how those dynamics kind of collide. But again, I want to extend my gratitude to all those people, and then it truly does take a village. I'm grateful enough. I know some people don't have the privilege of having that support, but I am grateful to have that support, and I know I'm gonna continue to have that support, and it's a great thing to have. So, but yeah, the other thing I want to talk about is I picked up a book. It's called The Daily Dad, essentially. It's written by Ryan Holiday. I've read some of his previous stuff on Stoicism, and I've loved some of his books. I followed all of his stuff. I'm subscribed to a lot of his daily intakes or emails that I get, that I read every day, to kind of some of the values that I believe that we match together, that I agree with him. Certainly there are things that I disagree that he believes in, but for most part, most of my beliefs and values align with his. And then those are things that I want to like instill in my child's world. But anyways, I picked up that book. It's a great book, so far at least. So the idea, it's not really a book. It's more like a daily read, like a meditation in a sense. So it's every day you wake up and you read basically an excerpt for that day on how to be the daily dad. Hence the name, right? So you read it daily, a page daily, or whatever that excerpt is daily, and it, it kind of give you some perspective or guidance into on how to be a dad. And you could take what you want from those chapters, those days, of course. But yeah, today was like more. It was today's first daily was talking about being a role model and being, now that you have somebody following your footsteps, that you have to be a role model, which is interesting to me because growing up, I never really personally looked at my father as a role model, so to speak, and that's not no discredit to his character, the person he is. As I grew older, I've seen some of like the stuff that he's instilled on me without even trying, and like that I have taken without even trying. So in a way, he has been a role model for me without me even knowing. But growing up, I didn't look at him as a role model in a sense. I grew up thinking Kobe Bryant was my role model, hence the name that he's my son. His middle name is after Kobe Bryant, so Bean. But yeah, so Kobe has a great impact on my life. Not bigger than my dad's, obviously, in hindsight, because again, I was very stubborn and didn't really like to take advice from my parents. I didn't think he had any credibility to give me advice. But he was instilling those things in me without me even knowing. So that's just great. But anyways, yeah, so what it means to be a role model. Like, I'm the person now, you know what I mean? I'm the guy that Porter's going to look up to every step of the way. He's going to watch me regardless of I like it or not, right? He's going to see the things I do. He's going to try to copy the things I do. And that may be for a time being, that may be for a short period of time, and then there might be a time where he's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But either way, there is a period of time where he's going to look at me for guidance. He's going to look at me to be like, maybe not even ask me for guidance, but just watch me. Right? He's going to be watching me all the time. So it's imperative that I kind of, set the way or blaze a path for him to ensure like my values, so he knows my values and where I stand. Ensure that I'm somebody that he can look up to, essentially. Like, and I don't mean in the sense that like I'm a great athlete, I'm like a stud, this or anything. I'm great at doing this and that, but more so in the sense that I'm a good human being, essentially. I have a good work ethic. I'm accountable. Those type of things those kind of values that I think make a man, right? So that kind of touched me a little bit, and in the sense that that this person's even looking up to me, right? And so it's our job as parents to instill those things and ensure that we are on their head on a swivel all the time. And of course, again, as a parent, you're gonna make mistakes, and I know that. I know I'm gonna make mistakes along the way. I'm not a saint by any means, right? I do like to occasionally binge drink, right? I like to hang out with friends, do stupid stuff, and that's okay. I mean, that's okay. I mean, I'm gonna make mistakes along the way, but I need to. If I do make the mistakes, I need to ensure that I'm communicating with my child as to the differences of me doing it versus him doing it, and again, I try not to make those mistakes again. So that kind of hit home for me in a sense, and that was